Hi Aquarius. First of all, just an apology because you, Pisces, Capricorn and Sagittarius, you didn't get your singles reading for March. I do apologise, but I just didn't have enough time to do those last 4 readings. And then when it came around to having the time to do it, we are so near to the end of this month that I thought it was just best to focus now on the April reading. So sorry that you missed out on that. Now, because of the reflexology course I'm going to do, and just quickly to thank everybody for all your good luck messages, that means a lot to me. I'm now combining the ex-partner reading with the single reading. And I'm doing it slightly different in terms of that I'm having the cards face down and I'm going to turn them over one by one while I'm recording. People have said to me in the past about shuffling, you know, while I am recording the video, but there's 2 reasons really. One, where I need to have my camera, I don't have the arm space or the maneuverability there, and I know if I try to shuffle, I'm going to keep knocking the camera over. So I'm going to definitely be getting a tripod. So in the future, that's going to help me to be able to shuffle on camera. But the other aspect as well is I always prefer just to get straight into your reading. And the problem is the upload time for YouTube is crazy. Once you hit over 20 minutes on a recording, it can take hours sometimes to upload the video. So, you know, that's why I haven't done the shuffling for those reasons. But because this time I have decided, for some reason, I just felt to have the cards this way, I'm not going to be clarifying the outcome cards, okay? Because again, when I ordinarily have the cards face up the other way, I can already see the outcome cards and I know then and feel whether I need to clarify further. So ordinarily, again, I do that all off camera to save time. So this is going to be your ex-partner and your singles reading. What I found with some of the other signs is that I've had repeating cards in both spreads, and also some of the readings both have kind of blended together, but there have been a couple of the signs where that hasn't been the case. The ex-partner is still the same. You are on this side, your ex-partner is here, but obviously, you know, sometimes it can go vice versa. So, you know, apply that to your situation. With the singles, these 3 cards are going to be talking about you, and over here is going to be possible energies coming through for you in the month of April. I've also pulled a romance oracle card for both spreads, okay? So we're going to start with the ex-partner. And the first card you've got, Aquarius, is the Death card. Now, the Death card, we know, talks about endings. But with every ending, there has to be a new beginning. Is it a new beginning with your ex-partner? Or is it a new beginning for you, you know, independently, and not returning to your ex-partner? Also, the Death card can be about change and transformation. Maybe something is changing within you. Maybe things have to change between you and your ex-partner before you can think about a reconciliation. The card that they have the 3 of Swords. Now, the 3 of Swords, as you know, for me, sometimes I see the 3 of Swords as needing to get to the heart of the matter. And the way we do that is through communication, okay? So it could be that is what your ex-partner is wanting. But also, the 3 of Swords can be the card of heartbreak, of sadness, you know, of loss. So these 2 cards together, it could suggest that you, Aquarius, were the one that ended the relationship, and that maybe it brought about this pain, this sadness to your ex-partner with the 3 of Swords. The next card you have is the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords It can be the card that talks about mental stress. It can also talk sometimes about feeling physically exhausted. But overall, it talks about needing to take a break, needing to take some time out to gather your thoughts, maybe to recuperate. It can sometimes signify a break in a relationship, and it can sometimes touch on a complete break in communication between you and your ex-partner. The card they have is Justice. So, they're wanting justice brought to this situation. And the thing with the Justice card is it is about problems being brought to the surface and then they can be resolved. And whether they're resolved in your ex-partner's favour is often dependent on how they've behaved, okay? And what part they've played in this breakup and whether they've acted in a fair and just way. It is a card about resolution, and maybe this Three of Swords is them wanting to get to the heart of the matter and wanting to bring resolution to this situation, maybe in terms of a reconciliation. This Four of Swords here may be signifying that at the moment you're choosing not to communicate with your ex-partner. But the Four of Swords being here could suggest that on some level you yourself have gone through a stressful period in the fact that the relationship has come to an end, okay? And if you were the one that ended it, it doesn't mean that you've ended it and gone whistling down the road, as happy as anything. It could have obviously impacted on you as well. When we get down to the bottom, you have the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands, it is a card of conflict, okay? But it's not as severe, really, as the Five of Swords. It often deals more with banter, but it can be about two people, not listening to each other. Not listening to what the other person is trying to say. It's about trying to get your point of view heard and kind of shouting over one another. And both people are talking and shouting, but neither of you are listening to what each other are trying to say. And the card they've got is the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, it brings clarity to us. We get a better understanding of things with the Ace of Swords. The Ace is always a new beginning, and the Swords is to do with our thoughts as well as our communication, okay? So maybe your ex-partner realizes that maybe they need to change the way they've been communicating with you. Maybe there has been lots of arguments, okay? As I said, both of you talking but nobody listening, and maybe they start to gain some clarity here and realize that to be able to resolve any problems, it's going to require them to change the way they're communicating with you. We're going to look at your Romance Oracle card, and that is stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And maybe this card is saying that either you or your ex-partner, or indeed both of you, need to remain optimistic here. That if you bring in positive thinking and positive thoughts here, and you change the way you communicate with each other, then maybe you can have a reconciliation. Maybe you can get the romance back between you both again, okay? As I said, the Death card being there, yes, an ending, but also a new beginning, which could take place between you both. The Three of Swords, yes, heartbreak, sadness, pain, but for me also sometimes the need to get to the heart of the matter, and we do that in terms of communication, and maybe the way we've been communicating with each other is what is needed to change here. So moving over to singles, okay? As I said, these 3 cards are for you. These 3 are possible energies. It is possible this reading could blend in, or we could have repeating cards, but it doesn't have to be, because, you know, both readings are separate from each other. So, single Aquarius, what have we got? We have the Ace of Wands here. So the Ace of Wands is a new beginning, something new being offered to us. It can be creative energy. It can be very fiery and very passionate energy. You know, I've heard the Ace of Wands described as being one of the most passionate cards in the tarot. So it could very well be that something along those lines is going to come through for you in the month of April. It could be something that you're hoping and wishing for. Over here we have the Two of Swords. Now the Two of Swords is needing to make a decision here, but sometimes feeling that neither decision is very positive, okay? Sometimes it can be about being stuck in the middle. That, as example, you could have a group of friends that are telling you that you need to move on, as example, from your ex-partner and go and meet somebody new. And, you know, and you may be thinking, well, actually, I'm not sure that I'm over my ex-partner. I'm not sure that I do want to move on from this situation. You know, it can be about being in the middle, 2 opposing sides. One group telling you to maybe try to get back with your ex-partner. Another group trying to tell you to move on. It could also be energy whereby, you know, for you, you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, in the sense that you do want some new passion to come into your life, but maybe there's an element of fear there about stepping into a new relationship. Or maybe you are wanting this passion to come into your life, but again, it may be that you're wanting it to be with your ex-partner and not somebody new, okay? But the Two of Swords is about needing to make a choice or a decision here, but keeping that blindfold off, kind of, you know, refusing to make this decision, kind of thinking, well, if I keep the blindfold on, I don't have to make the decision. That kind of burying your head in the sand. The next card you've got is the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is about holding on to something. It could be that you're still holding on to hopes and dreams in terms of your ex-partner. But it could be that you are choosing to hold on to your feelings and your emotions, and you're not choosing to open yourself up to something new that may be trying to come through here. Over here we have the Hermit. And the Hermit is that card about an enforced isolation. You know, it's a card about soul searching, going within yourself to gain a better insight, to reflect on things. As I said, to do some soul searching here about what it is you really want, because there's obviously a decision that's got to be made here. But in the month of April, certainly the beginning of the month, you're not wanting to make this decision, you know. So down here we have the Page of Pentacles. Now the pages are messengers, okay? And the Page of Pentacles, when we're talking in terms of relationships, it can be that something is coming through, something's going to be offered to you that you could love and value as much as you may money, you know, because in terms of finances, this page is very focused on this pentacle, you know. This is where his only attention is on this pentacle. In terms of relationship, it can be, as I said, something coming through, and your main focus is going to be on that. It could be a message from somebody coming through towards you to suggest that they are only thinking about you, that they are very focused on you. And for some of you, it may be from your ex-partner, but it doesn't have to be. Then over here we have the Seven of Cups. Now the Seven of Cups is about choices. And it's about realizing that you do have choices. And we can see up here there's a choice or decision to make. You know, and maybe after a period of soul-searching and reflection, maybe after a period of thinking that you're never going to meet anybody new, you know, you realize that you do have choices there. But the thing with the Seven of Cups, it's about dealing with fantasy. It's about dealing with reality, sorry. Not allowing yourself to fantasize or get caught up in illusions here, okay? Keeping it real, making sure that whatever is offered to you is the real deal. Now, your romance oracle card, is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And that is really what I felt, if I'm being honest. And with the Seven of Cups, there's a choice. Here, there's a choice. You know, this Two of Swords energy, it may very well be that for you, there is maybe some renewed passion that you start to feel for your ex-partner, or your ex-partner has this renewed passion for you with this Ace of Wands up here. And maybe for you, it's a case of this fear. If I go back to my ex-partner, are we going to end up back to where we were before? Are we going to end up in that Five of Wands energy where we're arguing and, you know, we're not listening to each other? Or if I remain single, I don't want to be single. I don't want to be on my own. You know, I do want to be in a relationship, and having a difficult choice to make here. There's an offer definitely going to come through, or some message coming through, and it's going to cause you to have to reflect on things, to do some soul searching here. And you may very well come out of it thinking, well, actually, I know I've got other choices. I know that, you know, the be-all and the end-all is not my ex-partner. I could go out and meet somebody, you know, new and potentially have a new relationship. But for some of you, it may very well be that returning to your ex-partner is what you want. But like I said, make sure you deal with the facts. Don't get caught up in any fantasies or illusions that they may be spinning towards you, and don't allow that to happen within your own thoughts, okay? Deal with the facts. Okay, Aquarius, that does conclude this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much and take care. Bye.